Hello, good evening, Harsh. We are going to start in 3 to 4 minutes. Let others also join, okay? Good evening, students. I think that we can wait for 2 or 3 minutes more because no one has joined. Only two students are there. So we are going to start it after 2, 3 minutes, okay? Harsh, have you completed your project? Hello, Harsh, am I audible to you? Hello, Harsh. Am I audible to you? Have you completed your project? Harsh, are you there? Guys, am I audible? Okay. So, Isha, have you completed your project? Okay, Isha, then I think we can start with your presentation because only few students have joined up to now. So just share your screen and let us know what you have created. Okay, good. All the best. Mm. Hello, Isha and Nishu. Good evening, good evening, Vishal. Yes, Isha, I guess your screen and mic is not shared. Okay, so what about you, Harsh? Are you there in the session or not? Why actually students are not joining? These are not the college lectures. You are doing a internship over here, so it's your responsibility to join on time. But still, I can see only few students are there who are joining on regular basis. Otherwise, no one is joining the session right now. It's 6:10 already, but still only three people have joined. So this is not good. I have tell plenty of time that those who are not joining on regular basis will not get the certificate, and they will come to know about this when every other students who were joining regular will get their certificate. And I can assure that those students will not get the certificate who haven't attended the sessions and don't presented the projects to me. Harsh, have you completed your project? And Vivek, what about you? Have you completed it? You
Yes, sir,
can't.
I am.
Okay, okay, great. Because I can't extend the presentation session much. Okay, so today I'm going
Yes,
to take
sir.
the presentation. Yes, good.
Give me 5 minutes just.
Okay, okay, take your time. Up to then, any other who have completed it can start. No, Harsh, you are not audible right now. Now unmute yourself, Harsh. No, your voice is not coming, Harsh. Hello, Manali. What about you? Have you created the project? So up to when you guys are actually taking the time to present, I will let you know that what we have covered in yesterday's session and what we are going to cover in the upcoming sessions. Okay. So basically, let me just share my screen for a second. Up to then, those who have to present their project, please ready their projects. Okay. So we have seen about Mongo client, that through Mongo client, what we are able to do, we are able to connect it with our local system, MongoDB. Okay. So here we were using Mongo client over here. One more thing is there, which is Mongoose. Mongoose is basically used to define the schema, okay, of your database. Like we have already seen that MongoDB is a schema-less database. Schema-less database means that you can append any value, and as we can see in as you can see in MySQL database, what was happening that if the column is defined, then only you can put the data inside it. But in MongoDB, there are no restrictions over that. So to make it structured or to make it not to create its own schema or blueprint, we use Mongoose library over there. Okay. So Mongoose basically help us to create a schema structure for our MongoDB server. Suppose I want to create a login page. Okay, there I want the user to enter email, username, and password every time he is going to log in. Okay, so that structure I have to define in MongoDB so that it can be prepared accordingly and ask that thing from the client's end. So for that, we are going to use Mongoose. So just a second. Okay. So now these things we have already seen that how to connect it with the Mongo client, that we have to create an instance of Mongo client where we will provide the URI to them. After that, we are going to provide them a database in which we are going to create a collection through tb.collection command. Like this we have done. Okay, and then we have seen that how we can insert a particular value using insert one, different documents, multiple document using insert menu. Okay, so I hope that it is clear. After that, we have seen that how we are going to update these values. Okay, so whenever we have to update something, we have to target a element first and then set the property of a respective field. So that we have already done, and we have already executed these commands in the previous session. Okay. Now today what we are going to do, we are going to learn about Mongoose. That what is Mongoose, why we have to use it, how it is different from Mongo client. Basically, Mongo client is your low level design. Okay, so we use Mongoose over there, which is also a object data modeling library. Okay, uh, object data modeling library means it helps you to define a particular model, a particular structure, and it make it schema based. Okay, also without Mongoose, the MongoDB is actually schema-less. Schema-less means whatever you want to insert, you can insert that inside your data. Okay. And it can store anything regarding that. So basically, Mongoose provide us to make our MongoDB server to be schema-based. Okay. Schema-based means we are going to enforce some rule over there through which we want to access a particular data. Okay. Now, how it is different from Mongo client? Mongo client is basically a driver to connect your MongoDB. Like here, using Mongo client, we were connecting it with our basic client, Mongo client, okay, and MongoDB driver. But it is low level and requires writing raw queries. Means it is low level and we have to also write a lot of query to create our step. But Mongoose is basically a a better way to write this code to handle all these connections over there, and it act as a wrapper on the top of the Mongo client. So Mongo, if Mongo client is low level, then Mongoose provides us higher level abstraction with schema, models, and validations. Okay, so we are going to see that what is schema, a particular structure where you are going to define that email must be there, okay, name must be there, password must be there, and something like that we are going to cover in the today's session. Okay, so in today's session and in the upcoming sessions also. So now I guess you are ready to give the presentation.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so Vivek, let's start with you because it's already 6:18, so we should start now.
Mm.
Okay, so just share your screen, let us know what you have created, and then elaborate the code and that. But just a second, Harsh is saying I'm not joined the section using TMAP, but still not audible to you. I'm sharing you the video link to you. Okay, Manali and Harsh, I will let you know about this. Up to that, you can create the video at your end and forward it to me. Okay. Yes, Vivek, now you can continue.
Sir, I have made a blog website like before, like yesterday. So I was creating that attendance management system. But later than I think Abhishek and Sushmita have already created. So I thought let me switch to another one. So I haven't done much in the blog section, but is my screen visible right now?
Yes, yes, your screen is
Okay.
visible.
So I have made this using the easiest template for like quick development, and
Okay, good.
only I have created like no authentication I have created. So I will add the authentication part later when I will switch to React.js. So for now, this is
Okay,
the home page, and if I click to this button, get started, then this will be redirecting to the home page. And here in the home page, this is a button where we can create new posts. So you can give any username. Mm, okay, and content. And if I create a new post, then the post is dynamically reflected here. And if I refresh also, then the post will still be there. So this
okay,
is
good.
saved in the local MongoDB. And if we want to view this particular post only, so we can click here in the view button, and this will redirect to the particular post page with this dynamic UUID. Like I have used the UUID to make dynamic IDs for users. So this is the user specific post. And here in the homepage, we can see all the users who have created the post. And with
Okay,
this
great.
edit button, cause I am I have not selected the authentication, so anyone can edit and delete for now. So with this pencil icon, the user can edit his post. Uh, if we wanna say like Har Mahadev, so he can edit the post and commit after editing. So the post will be reflected here like his content is edited. And the user want to delete, then he can delete the post also. And if I refresh, then the post is also deleted. So
Oh,
create, edit, delete, and update, all things are working. And this is only, sir, I have made. And if
yeah, good.
I like, let me open MongoDB. So this is the database GNCIPL social app. And in the post section, we have this, like I have deleted the post. So there is only currently only one post with the username Ram and content Harar Mahadev.
Yes.
So the like backend is also working. If it is not working, then the other post is should
Okay.
already be there. So this is reflecting in the backend also simultaneously. So this is
Yes,
the
good.
complete I have made. And coming to the code part, I have index.js, like the normal index server, creating the server with Express. And using the EGS, I need to download the package EGS package from npm and setting its view engine to EGS so that it can render the EGS HTMLs. And then we have this post route starting from the slash, then it will go to the post routes where all the routes will be defined, like here in the route section, post routes. Here all the routes are being defined for get, post, and patch and delete. And after that, we have this MongoDB connection here. Okay, and in the env we have that MongoDB and the port. And here is the root EJS where that home screen is visible, like this one. From here it will start get started. So this is an SVG, like here if I have done something. Okay, so this is the blob SVG. This is present under the public folder and SVG. So this is basically done by wrapping the EGS to have a public sections also. I think I have done it in the index only, I guess. Like here, app.set view part.join view to get that all the HTMLs under the view section, under the view folder, and under the public section, all the images or SVCs you can have. So this both the middlewares are used in order to get the HTML and the public sections like images and anything. And after that, we have
Okay.
this index.js, index.ejs, where user can create a post and see all the posts from here. And here I have used that, like if I tell you about the EJS temp, what we say about this, I forgot. Like in Python, Django, we have just Jinja, something like that. So I think this is also called Jinja. So
Okay.
Angular bracket and ampersand, with this you can create any of the logic like for, if, and any kind of loops. And if there is an equals to, like here ampersand, then equals to, then you can render the dynamic variables, like not a static variable but dynamic variables coming from backend or some another file. So this is the easiest used here, and this is all the basic HTML. With the with this four route, we are redirecting all we are rendering all the posts on the home screen whichever is created. So this all the posts will be reflected with this for loop. And this is the like link tag to them, anchor tag to them, like clicking on any of the like view, so it will direct to that particular specific post with that UUID. And after that, we have this post section where user can create their post, add a new post here, like the post section I have shown to you, and which has left edit.js. This is the edit route where user can edit their post. Same, I have used the easiest templates everywhere. So this is
Okay.
also, I think, like HTML is
Yes,
not
yes. Sure, sure.
worthy to explain, so I am not explaining that much. And yeah, I will, yeah, I am using here the Tailwind CSS, and in each and every file I have uh,
Use the class
linked the
name.
Tailwind CDN. Okay, yes.
Okay, okay.
So I can use them in the HTML because without CDN we cannot use the HTML Tailwind in HTML files. Therefore. And
Okay, okay,
after that, like, yeah, that's all. So this
okay.
is all,
Great,
sir.
Vivek. Great, great. Good project. And also it is good that few students have shown that project in the yesterday session. So you have created the different one. So that
Yes,
is
sir.
good. Okay, okay. So very good, Vivek. Keep it up. Good work.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Now, Isha, are you ready to present? And what about you, Vatsal? Have you created your project? Hello, Vatsal, are you there? Okay, Isha. So I will check that what is the problem in this. Okay, because few students are able to open their mic and present it, but some students are facing the issue. So I will check it. Actually, I will let you know about this. I will let you know about this with asking with the permission from management. Okay, so let me now just continue with that. For now, those students who have not presented, they can share that video link, okay, as the proof to me. And also mail you have got that mini project at the @gncipl.com, which I have already shared you in the yesterday session. So please try to use that mail to share your GitHub repository link over there. Okay, so just do that because it is mandatory so that we can keep the record that okay, you have created the project at your end. Okay, so make sure that every one of you have shared it at your end to that particular mail. I have already shared it. Okay, okay. And those who are not able to just mute their mic and not able to share their screen, so let me know. Till then, we can continue with the session. So, good work, Vivek. Now, let's continue. Okay. So, now, as I have already told you, that we are going to use Mongoose over there. So, basically, Mongoose will provide you the schema-based structure of MongoDB database. Now, what is schema-based? As you can see in SQL, what we were doing, we were using our rows and columns to store a data. Okay, if the column is not defined, then you can see we will get the error while pushing some data inside it. So to overcome those challenges in MongoDB, to MongoDB is schemaless, but suppose sometimes you want to define a particular structure so that we can use it. Okay, so for here to define a structure, we use Mongoose library. Like we have covered Mongo client over there in the previous session. Now I would going to create a separate folder where we are going to learn about Mongoose. Okay, so let's start with Mongoose. So what you have to do, just close this folder and create a new one at your end. So I'm closing this folder. I'm going to create a new folder over here. Okay, where we are going to see that how we can use Mongoose to connect with our URL. The URL which we will get from Mongo shell. Just a second, let me name it Mongoose. Okay, it is already there. So let me rename it. Just a second. Folder I'm going to make Mongoose tutorial. Okay, I hope this is not there. Yeah. Okay, so what we have done, we have created a file which is folder, which is Mongoose tutorial having the name. Okay, now what we are going to do, we are going to write some code over here in which we are going to see that how we can use Express how we can use Mongoose library to create a server and to create different models over there, which will provide the schema to our structure. So let's start with that. First of all, you can also install the libraries over there, but I'm just creating index.js file first. Now, open the terminal. In terminal, you have to do three things. First of all, you have to install, like you can use npm install, and then the libraries over there. And before that, you can also do one thing, that before that, use npm init so that we can check the package manager also at our end. Okay, so npm init -y will initialize a package.json file at your end. You can see it has all the details regarding our project, like what is the name of our folder, what is the name of our main file over there, then the keywords over there. Now, whatever you are going to install, it will be come over here in the dependency section. Let me show you also. Npm install. First of all, install Express. We have already learned about Express. We are going to implement it over here. We are going to use Mongoose. So we have to install it also. And this you can do. So it will take some time. As you can see, it is installing the packages. Okay, done. Now, can you see that in dependency section, I have Express and Mongoose over there, which was not previously, but now it is here with the latest version over there. From here, you can see the version for that. Okay, now let's go to index.js. And what I'm going to do, I am just going to start a basic server at my end. Okay, why basic server? So that we can recall that what we were doing using Express. So let's write the code to create a server at our end. First of all, we have to import our library. To import it in CommonJS, what we use require function. So const express equal to require. In CommonJS module, this is how we are going to import something. So in this line, I have exported, just a second. Yes. So in this line, what we have done, we have just imported our Express library. Now you have to create an instance for it. So for creating our instance, what we do, we just use const app equal to, and then the function name over there. Like this, we can create the instance of it. Okay. Now, what we are going to do, I am just going to create a particular route which will provide me, yes, hello, created the Express server, so that we can check, okay, the server is started. So for using that, we are going to use this application instance with the get method over there, and it will listen at a particular route over here, which is a slash. And then we have to provide a function having request and response object of our code. Okay. This is a arrow function. It, yes. So this is the arrow function. Now write the code inside it that what you want as the response from the server. So I am getting the response dot send hello connected, yeah, hello Express server. So whenever you are going to hit this particular endpoint, you will get the output as this on the particular server. Now we have created the server. Now what we have to do, we have to call that server. So it will listen at a particular port. So we have to write the code for it also, like listen at 9899, suppose. Okay. And then I want it to console a message, creating it also arrow function. And inside it, it will just let me know that console dot log server started. Okay. So here I can write server started. Yes. So this is basically what we are doing over here. So let's try to execute this code. What we have done, imported our Express library, created an app instance for that. After that, at a particular endpoint, we want the output. Okay, so the output we will get on a particular port, which is 9899. Now, how to run it? For running it, first of all, let me clear the terminal. Yes. So to run it, what we have to use? Node space index.js. This is the command. It is saying me that server is started. Okay. And how we can check that? We can check it through our web browser. If we go to localhost colon 9899. If I provide here localhost colon 9899, then you can see what they are providing us. Hello Express server. Okay. That was we want as the response from them. Okay. So just copy this bit of code at your end and try to execute this. Okay. Just do that. Okay. I hope that all of you have executed this bit of code. It is quite simple and we have already covered this. Now, what we are going to do, we are going to connect it through our MongoDB server. So for that, let me just do two things. First of all, let me start my Mongo shell server so that I can get a particular URI from that Mongo sh. Okay, so let me also copy this bit over here. Okay, done. Yes. Now I'm going to append the connection code over here. First of all, you have to change a bit like import the mongoose library because you want to use it in your code. Mongoose equals to require mongoose over here. Okay. This is how we can do. Now we have to write a function like before this endpoint after creating an instance, we are calling our middleware so that it can parse the requested JSON from our request.body section. So I am using it here. Express.json over here. Okay. Now let's write the code so that we can connect with our Mongoose, MongoDB. So for that, I am going to write it like mongoose.connect function over there in that particular library and then pass the URI directly. This is what after this, if after this slash, I will provide a name of my database, then it will use that database as default to create all the collections over there. Okay, so let's see how many collections are over there, how many databases are there. So I am checking it with show DBS. You can see there are a lot of database over there. So suppose if I want to use vansh, let me just first use vansh and show collections. Okay, you can see users collection is there in my vansh database. So we are also going to write a users collection. So I'm not going to use this. Let me use testdb and let me check that what is the database inside it. Testdb. It is. Yes. So show me the collections. So your models is there. Okay, so we can use this testdb database for now to create our collection. Okay, so right now I am putting it here after my MongoDB URI, which I have copied from Mongo sh. Like here, you can see this URI I have pasted, and after that, I have given them the particular module or particular database where they are going to create the collection for me. Okay. Now, after that, establish the connection. If For this, I'm going to use dot then method where we have to write the code. If connected successfully, then console me that okay, that console.log MongoDB connected. So that we can write the code like this, arrow function over this, and that will basically use your console.log command and provide the output as connected to MongoDB. When this code will run, after this execution, if that is successfully connected, then you will go to this dot then method, Promisify version, okay, and get the output as connected to MongoDB. Otherwise, what will happen? You will have to handle the particular error with dot catch method, okay. Inside it, what will happen? You are going to provide the error, okay. Like here, we can use the console.log method again, so that instead of console.log, we can also use console.error. You can see they are giving us the suggestion also that for error, I will log a particular error, whatever the error is. Okay. And you can provide it like this, like connection error. Okay. And to get the reason for it, you can also provide this error attribute over there. So I hope that it is clear that what we have implemented in these three lines, that we are going to connect with our MongoDB server. Okay. So let's see that is it working or not. Let me execute it. Okay. It is providing some error. MongoDB. Just a second. Mongoose dot connect method we are using. After that, we are providing them the particular URL over there. I hope it is good. We have also imported our mongoose library. Okay. Created the instance app.use express.json. After that, connecting to our MongoDB URL. Console.log connected to MongoDB if that will be connected successfully. Otherwise, throw us an error. So we are getting an error over here. Connection error. Mongo parser invalid scheme expected connection string to start with MongoDB. So our connection string basically started with MongoDB. Let me check one more time. Okay. So basically what was happening, like in this URL, we were using space after that. Okay. So the space was not, uh, you can say, the correct option to start a URL. So that's why they were providing us an error that whatever URL you have to fetch, it should start with MongoDB. Okay. So now you can see it is saying us that connected to MongoDB. Let me also clear the screen one more time and then execute this code. Then it will be clear. So with these basic lines of code, what we have done, we have connected it with MongoDB server. Okay. I hope it is clear. So providing the code at your end so that you can also use it. Okay, good, Harsh. Yeah, this is the code. Check with this bit of code. Now we are going to create a user schema. Okay, like how we are already talking about schema, that how we can define a particular structure for an incoming model. So for that, we are going to create a particular folder in the same directory over here having name models. Okay, and inside these models, what I'm going to do, I am going to give it a name which is user.js. Here I am going to define specific schema regarding my particular user. So for that, you have to use some built-in functions of Mongoose library, which is schema function. So import it mongoose const mongoose equal to require mongoose. What we are doing, we are going to write a particular structure that as a user, what I want. Like I want the name, I want the email, I want something else. So that I have to define in this particular structure. Then only it will become a schema based module. Okay. Now after this, what you have to do? Create a user schema. Create user schema over here. Okay. And to create it, you have to use new keyword over here. Then this mongoose dot schema function over there. So for that, you can use it as new mongoose dot schema. Okay. Now let's start with the code for this particular schema. I want the name to be there. Okay. So first of all, the name must be there. And this name must have some properties. Like first of all, we have to, in this schema, we define all the things required to this name field. First of all, I want the type to be string. The name must be in string format. So we are defining that the whatever the user is going to enter, it must be in a string format. String format. Okay. After that, what we are going to do? After that, we have to ensure that is it required for user to enter this field or not. So for that, we are going to use this required attribute over here and we are making it true. Why true? Because we want that for user to use this particular schema, they have to enter their name. Okay. And we can also provide some condition over the length of this particular name. So for that, I am going to use and okay, minimum length I am setting it to be 4. Suppose before if someone is giving the like 3, if someone is giving only 2 letters name, that it will be rejected, that you have entered wrong credentials over there. Like name we have done. Now I am going to write it same thing for email. Okay. Like this, you can write it. First of all, provide the type. So basically the email is of string type. After that, is it required? So yes, it is required. So provide the Boolean value to be true here. And also, as a user, we have to provide as a programmer, we have to provide a condition that every email must be unique. So for that, I'm going to write it as unique and that must be true. That if there is user which is duplicate user which is going to use a duplicate email, then they will provide a error that you have using the existing email over there. Now also let's try to incorporate age over here. The type of age must be number. Okay, so we are providing over here number and then the minimum age to and log in to our page must be 18. Okay. So we are defining that it is not necessary that only a 18-year-old user is going to use that, but we are just appending some structure over there. Okay. So basically these are the schema structure over there, which you have to use. Okay. And also they can we can set a particular field so that we can get an idea that when the user is created. So we can use created at. Okay, and here also I can define the ID like type. I want to be the date, which is the current date. Okay, and by default, I want here date dot now. If the current date is not there, so it will handle it like this. Okay. So basically in this models folder, you are going to create a schema. Okay. How you are going to create a schema? This is how you are going to create a schema in which you are specifying that, okay, for this user schema means user structure, I want these things to be there for a particular user, which is name, email, age, and created at means at which time the user is created. Okay. Now schema is done. After this, we are going to write the code for particular model, like how to create a model from this schema. So for that, const user equal to, we have to use built-in function, which is mongoose dot model. Okay. Create a model having name user over there and it will use my schema as user schema. So what will happen through this bit of code? That you have created a model. Okay, wait. That you have created a model, and that model will use this particular structure which is defined in user schema. Okay, so basically this thing we have done. Now this bit of code we have to use in other files also. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to export it. So module dot exports, okay, is equal to what you have to export, this particular section which have your model over there. So user over here. Hope it is clear that what we have done, we have defined a particular structure. That's why we were using Mongoose over there. Otherwise, Mongo client is sufficient. Okay. Then what we were doing, we are creating a model which will store all the users. Here we are using only one single user for this model, but it will create by default a collection having different users over there. Okay. So now this is done. But we have to also provide the code that when I will see this section over there, like from where I am going to set the name, email, age section from our postman. That's why we are using Express, so that from client side, we can also send this particular data. So right now, just create this at your end. Okay, no problem, Vivek. What happened, Harsh? Mongo also not working. Have you installed it properly? Okay, so why are you facing that problem? Just watch the tutorial over there. Okay, through which you can see that how to install, how to set the environment variable over there if needed. Okay, check it for Vishal. Okay, good Vishal. Yes, like this, what we have done, we have just created a particular structure over there. Everyone, please try that also at their end. Now, after this, I want to create a post method over there in a particular route from which I can send all these values, okay, from our postman. So for that, we have to also write the code. Now, what I'm going to do in the same folder over here, just create another folder having name routes. Okay. This is the basic setup. In model, you are going to define the structure. In routes, you are going to create a particular route which will be used whenever you have to execute your particular code and to post something through the postman. So here in the routes, I am going to create my file, which is user routes.js. So in this user route.js, we are going to write the code so that it can use our particular model. And through this code, I can post something to my existing structure. So let's write the code first. Const express is equivalent to require, and inside it you have to pass the name which is express. Okay. After this, you have to use the models, because if you want to push something, some code with a specific model over there, then you have to know about that particular module also. Okay. So for that, I am importing it here. So const user equals express dot, sorry, I have to import it. So for that, I'm going to use require over there and then pass the particular path. So it is, you can see it is in the same folder, like models is in the same folder as user routes. So that's why I'm using double dots so that it indicates after coming out this file, you will see the same directory over there which have this models over there. Okay, then search for this model folder over there. After that, there was a file having name user.js. So for that, we are using users for now only. Okay. What we are doing over here, we are providing them the path. How? Because right now we are inside our user routes.js, which is in the routes folder. So first of all, get out of this particular folder. Okay, now you are inside Mongo tutorial folder, and then let them know that you want to access the code which is inside the models folder and inside model folder in this particular file. Okay, hope it is clear. You have imported it successfully. Now I am going to create a particular router. Okay, through that I can post my uh, send my request from the postman. So it will use express dot router over there. And we have already seen it that why we are using this express dot router, that for the specific routes, you can execute this particular code. Okay. Now let's write the code. Uh, route dot post. Okay. Let me just have a line gap between them. Let me name it router. So router dot post. Why post? Because I want to insert a user inside a particular server over there. Okay, so for that we are going to use this particular route where I want to see that, okay, at this end, I want to add a user. Now creating a asynchronous function which will have my request and resolve object over there. Oh wait, what happened over there? Request and resolve. Okay, basically a arrow function. And in this arrow function, I will handle two things. First of all, a try catch, and then a try box, and then a catch box. So const user is equal to new user from the requested body. Means fetch all the details of the user from the requested body. Okay. Requested body means whatever you are going to post. Okay. Like this, we can have the access of name, email, and other things over there. Now also we have to save it in the MongoDB server. So for that, we are going to use a save function, user.save. So basically what this user.save is going to do, it is going to save a particular user with these entities to your MongoDB server. Okay. Now through this, you have saved it successfully. And if that is done, then you want some response. So in response, I want a status code. And the status code, suppose 201 over there, dot the JSON format of user. Okay. Basically, we are doing nothing over here. Just I want a response as the status code as 201. So that's what we have written over here. Now, if any error will occur while doing all this thing, so for that, I am going to also write a catch block so that it can share us the status code 404 rest.status, which is going to provide me the status code. And for error, we are going to use 404 as our status code. So basically, it is going to provide us the JSON element, JSON message also, like error to be as error dot message. Whatever the error will be, like you have not inserted a specific credential over there, that will you will get. Okay. So let's try to see. And same thing, if you are using this particular route, so to import it in module.js, index.js, what we have to do, we have to export it. So module.exports is equal to route. Okay. What is happening over here in this file, which is inside your routes folder? you are going to create a post method over here, which will listen to at slash users. Okay. And then you are going to create that whatever is there in your requested dot body, just fetch that details to your user section and then save that user to your database. Okay. If that is done successfully, then provide me the status code 201. Otherwise, show me the status code 404. Hope it is clear. Now to use this in index.js, just we have to do two things over there. First of all, import it also. Like import it like const user routes. Okay. Means you want to import the user routes over there at which the request is handled. So importing in CommonJS will require these things. Okay. And then the specific path over there. Now you can see we have to provide them a specific route. So in the same folder, index.js, in the same folder, the routes is there. Route folder is there. So only one dot and then a forward slash, which is providing us that, okay, this is inside the same folder. Now it is suggesting that, okay, found routes over there. So just use route. And after this route, you have to use this particular file over there. Okay. So means in the same directory, search for routes folder and then use that particular file which you want to import. So imported that. Now going to use a particular function. Let me just write app.use over here. What it will do? It will just use that particular schema for me. Okay, just a second. Let me write it first. It will handle at slash particular API slash users and then use my particular route. Okay. So the route name is user routes. User routes. Okay. So basically I have imported the user routes and used it over here as a middleware so that it can be used in my whole application. Now let's try to test these. Okay. So control C over there. Let me just execute it. Okay. It is showing some error. Wait, const mongoose. Okay. Somewhere I have not imported it correctly because I am missing double quotes over there. So let me check that. Wait, in user.js. Okay. Here I have to put this. Okay. Let's see everything is correct or not. Otherwise we will change. Okay, something is stringify. Where in my model section in user, okay, this is not stringify. Here I have to use only type string over there. Okay, like type string over there. And also the email type must be string. strng. Because of autocorrect, these things happens. Wait. Okay, now let's see. Still an error is there. It is not taking type. Oh, is it case sensitive? So I guess we have to provide capital S over here. I will provide each and every file code. Okay. So suppose if someone of you are also getting the error same, so we will rectify that. Okay. So it is saying me server is started and connected to MongoDB. Now we will check after putting it using our postman. Okay. So don't worry about that. We will check that. But before that, I want that everyone can set up this bit. So let me just make it more visible. First of all, I am sharing my index.js code over there. Okay. So yes, good Harsh, Vishal. Yeah. So first of all, use this. This is my index.js code. I can write it after that. This is index.js. Then create this type of folder over here, which have model as the folder name. Okay. So create a model folder over there, models folder over there. Then in models folder, there is user.js. I am going to provide the code of that also. This is our user.js. Make sure that the file name must be same as me because I am importing them with my file names. Then in this particular routes folder, you can see user routes is there. So we are going to write the code for user routes also. What is the file name? User capital R user routes.js. Just make sure that you can use this code in your file. Then we are going to go to Postman over there. Okay. New query. First of all, I have to use post method over there. Now, at which particular URL I have to host that, I have to use, suppose if I take it this, wait, let me just change in this. Okay, just give me a second. Here it till now completed. Like what you have to do, you have to provide the port number for us. Okay, and after that port number, we are going to just give them the JSON format, email and everything. Just give me 1 minute. Okay. So HTTP colon localhost, and I guess our port was listening at 9899. After that, provide the path. So at API, I will move for post session. I have to go to users over there. See how I am doing this. Let me just also show you that from where I am doing it. First of all, see, I am what I am doing at the slash API, call my user route. Okay, so let's go to this user route code, then it will be more clear. Just a second. Here it is user routes. So you can see when I'm calling this user route, it is accessing the post request at slash users. Okay. So after hitting slash API, it will get access to this particular module. And then at slash user will provide ask some data from us in request.body. So we are going to write that in our request.body. Okay. So just go to this postman section over here, go to the body part, select raw material over here and make it as JSON format. Use the JSON format over there. Like, first of all, the name, it must be greater than 3 characters and up to 3 characters. So I am using my name over here, a comma. Then they want a email to be entered over here, which must be unique. Okay. So suppose I am entering my email as vansh@123gmail.com. Any demo data? It This is what we done in our post request. So same thing we are doing. Age and it as 22, suppose. This is done. This is our particular endpoint where we have to send the request. So let's try to send it. User before initialization. Okay, it is providing me an error that cannot access the user. So I hope I have missed some spelling over there. So let me just check that. Like name is there, user routes, users route is there. So let me check that I have used users over there or not. So if I ask it for this particular user section, no, I guess that there is a particular cannot post. Okay, we are using it at slash users, and when I am posting it over here, so it is providing me some error. Let me just change it a bit. Okay. Okay, so let me go to my index.js over here. Let me just check few things over there. When I'm hitting the slash API, it will go to user routes over here. And in user routes, we are fetching the data in user. I hope that it is good. Okay, what can we do that to differentiate them? I can import it as capital U over here. And then from the requested user, I want the requested body to be there. Okay, I hope this is correct. Now let me also check it in user.js. In user.js, I was using a schema and it is basically here also we can convert the name to user and this as the schema over there. Exported it as capital user over here. Okay, so this is done. Here it is also done in user.js. I want it. Okay, so let's try to restart the server again. Okay, so it is basically running fine. Let me one more time open my postman. Wait, here it is. New request over there. A post request. Okay, a post request we have to create that particular endpoint. Wait, which is this API slash users. And our port number is, I guess, 9899. So let me just also verify that. Yes, 9899 is there. Now body section, raw JSON type. Let's do that again. Name supposed to be Ram. After this, email. Let's give it a name like ram123@gmail.com. Okay. And after the email, what was the other parameter? I hope age is there. Okay. In age, what we have to pass? Suppose 22. Let me send it. Okay. It is showing me some error. Unexpected token R. Where is unexpected? Okay. I hope, I think we have to make it in JSON format first before sending it. Okay, done. Yes. So let me just clear this, then it will be more clear. All is good now. Sorry for the errors, guys, but sometimes it happens when you are going to write the code at your own end, then you will also face these type of issues over here. Okay, so I'm starting the code again and just changing it 333. And then if I send it, so you can see in response what I am getting. Let me just resize it. Wait. Okay. So in response, I am getting the status code 201 with the name Ram, email ID as this, and object ID is also created at my end. And by default, they are providing me date.now function, which we have write. Okay. So I hope that it is clear to you that how we are executing it. So no, we use URL imported whenever we have to perform the data inside this XWW form URL encoded. Okay, to pass it through our raw JSON format, we have to use express.json, which I have already used in user.js. The mistake was that I was using basically this small user over there, so that's why it will get confused over there. So when I corrected it with the capital U over here and provided the correct output, then the output will be shown at our end. Okay. So just let me know that how many of you are able to execute the code and how many of you are facing the issue. I know that multiple students over here were facing the issue. Okay, okay, no problem, Vishal. So just let me know that how many of you are facing the issue. Connected to MongoDB. Okay. Yes, we are using raw JSON. Whenever we have to use the form data, okay, so at that particular case, we are going to use URL encoded for that. So this is how we can do that. Okay. Also, Vishal, you can check it through Postman, okay? And if you guys want to share me the updated code, then I can also share that. So just let me know in the chat box that do I provide the updated code or have you done it at your end? Let me just provide it. Okay, this is user.js. This is your routes.js, user routes.js, for example. Okay. And after this user route.js, I can provide you the index.js code also. This is index.js. Index.js. Okay. Now this is the right code. Through this, you can execute the code in our Postman. Now we can also write the code to update a particular user. Okay. To get all the users over there and anything we want. So basically, I am thinking that I will start that in the upcoming session so that you will get some time to digest that what we have covered today. I am going to recap that only. Okay. So I hope that it is clear. Just give me 1 second. Just a second. Okay. So basically what we have done in today's session is simply use the mongoose library to with express to perform the CRUD operation. Right now we just have performed the create user operation over there, but in tomorrow session we are going to cover the read operation, the update operation, and the delete operation for a particular user. So don't worry about that. We are going to cover each and everything over here. I hope that it is clear to you that how we are importing different files to the existing one, which is index.js, and why we are using double dots and a forward slash so that it can come outside a particular folder and see in the existing folder over there that which match with the different criterias, and then providing that. Like this, we are using testdb over there. So you can also see the collection name in testdb now. Right now, as you can see, only your models were there. So if I execute the same command now you can see users is also there. We can also cross check this thing from our MongoDB Compass. So let's do that also because it is a good tool which we can use. So it is opening. Just a second. Yeah, here it is. Connect it You can see testdb at the over here. And in testdb, there are two folders. So let's go to user section. Okay, so RAM is there as I have executed it twice. So basically you can see RAM is there, but the email is different. Okay. Email is different for both of them. Suppose if I want to delete one of any query, then from this GUI tool, graphical user interface, I can simply delete that also. So how easy it is to delete something from here. Hope it is clear, guys. If there is any doubt regarding this, you can ask. Otherwise, let me know that is it understandable to you. Okay, good, Vishal. What about others? Wait. Okay, good, Vishal and good, Vivek. What about others? Are they facing any error? Manali, Harsh, Sushmita, and Isha. If there is any doubt, you can ask that. Okay. And Harsh, now let me know that what error you are facing so that we can also try to resolve that. Okay, good, Manali. Hello, Harsh. Am I audible to you? Okay. So, guys, as you are now in week 5, okay. So here we are going to complete MongoDB in 1 and 2 session, uh, for sure. And then you have to also complete the week 5 project. But after that, in week 6, we are going to work on deployment. You can also learn it at your end, but we are going to see that how we're going to use render platform, Netlify, Workal over there. As I have already deployed many of my projects, so I don't have those projects. So it will be good if you are going to do that at your end. I will guide you. So in that, okay. And also one more thing that for the major project, I am going to create group of students. Okay. So be present in this week so that I can create a group after seeing the performance from each one of you that it will be a 3-member group or 4-member group. I will let you know about it and also drop a message in the respective group of yours so that everyone can join and we can basically provide you the week 6 project in the upcoming week after the week 5. And also just try to create all the project and share it in the mail which I have already shared with you, which is mini projects. Okay. And those who are not able to just share their screen and use the mic, they can for now send me the recorded lecture with all the explanations over there, like Manali was saying, and I guess Harsh was saying, and also share it to the mail over there so that I can cross check it. On GitHub, you can push the code. Okay. For deploying, I will suggest you to use Netlify and Worker for front end and render for your backend. To GitHub, you can only deploy a particular single page, you can say application type over there. But I prefer you to use the Netlify like project on LinkedIn. You can share it on LinkedIn like completed the week 4 project on the ongoing 6-week internship at GNCIPL, where you can tag the company. Okay, so that is good. That is a proof of work that okay, you are creating it, and we can also check it our end. Okay, okay, good. So if there is no error, then we are just good to wrap the session. And also let me tell you that what we are going to cover in yes tomorrow session, that we will see that now the user is created at our end. Okay, we will see that how we can delete that user, how we can update some segments of that user, and that will be done. Okay, Sushmita, let me just check the mail over here. Wait, as if someone have that mail, then they can share it in the chat box. Well, this is it. I have find it. No worries. This is the mail where you can do all these things. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. So, guys, I think we can wrap the session because everything is clear to you also. And if there is any doubt, you can ask. Otherwise, thank you so much for joining. I hope that it is understandable by all of you. No, Vishal, it is for everyone. Like up to 4 weeks, you can provide them the link over here. For the 6th week project, I will provide you a separate email ID, which is hr@ncipl, where I will let you know that what you have to post. Okay, don't worry about that. For now, every week project, send it over here. Like week 1, the GitHub repo, week 2, the GitHub repo, and it will be good if you will share the deployed link with the repository link also. Okay, so make sure that you have deployed it at your end. Okay, thank you, Vivek. Yeah, so if there is no doubt, then you guys can also leave the session. What, Vishal? Okay, no, you don't have to. So, see, only recorded session has to give one from those students who have not presented it to me. You have presented it to me. You can directly share the code, okay? Like the repository link over there. Don't worry. I am not talking about you. You have presented all the week projects to me, so don't worry about that. Okay, okay. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, goodbye. Okay, Manali, any doubt? Hello, Manali, any doubt at your end?